How was your 2024, everyone? Did you have a good one? Lots was happening. Lots of ups and downs. But we made it. And you know what? We're doing great. This episode, Jay and I wrap up all the events from the year and discuss what the future holds for actors and for offstage acting. So tune in and find out what word we've chosen to represent our feelings about the future and take us into the new year and beyond. From all of us here at Offstage Acting, we wish the best to you, to us, to all in 2025. Let's make it a loving, caring, and successful one together.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
There is no, New Year's Eve day is not a holiday. You know that, right? That's not.
Yeah,
It's
you sound
actually
like my mom.
It's literally.
She always
nothing.
talks about New Year's. That's the only day anyone ever talks about, though. No one ever talks about New Year's Day because everyone's hungover or sleeping.
But that's what you're counting down to.
I guess.
You guess?
Yeah, but you celebrate on the 31st.
No.
Yes.
You celebrate.
The celebrate is the lead up, and then the first happens, and everyone's okay. Let's go home now.
Yeah. Well, you celebrate
on New Year's Eve day.
From New Year's Eve into New Year's Day.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The party starts at 9, I guess.
Yeah, depending. Last year I was in that. You went to that penthouse that we had a really good view of the fireworks.
Yeah. What penthouse?
Remember
that
one
place?
That
you had a party up there?
A small one, but yeah, for years.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that was a cool pad for that. Oh, we used to have some New Year's parties in Prague, I tell you.
Oh, but you did. Can they actually light? See, are you not recording now? Can you actually light fireworks in Prague? I bet you can, because some cities you can't.
You can. Yeah. Well, when I was there, you certainly could, because it's so frozen and cold that nothing's
going to catch fire
anyway.
Yeah.
Unlike Southern California, where it's like, what?
What? Yeah.
Or this country where they seem to light off fireworks just all the time.
All the time.
For no good reason.
It's just like a thing. You just light fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually a thing.
Yeah. Are we ready, Andy? Sorry. Probably we are. You just waiting for us? You're rolling. Okay, I'm rolling. Okay. Anything specific?
No, I'll have the only thing I have prepared is I do like a little variation on a New Year's resolution that I'll share with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what I got. That's what I'll bring to the tables. Tabes. Short for table.
Right. Okay. I used the term sitch the other day for Justina.
What's the sitch? Yeah. Did she get it?
She was like, no, she didn't quite get it. I was like, the sitch. The situation.
Like the situation.
Yeah.
Did your kids get it?
Totes.
Well, there's an old cartoon called Kim Possible, and she her literal catchphrase was like, "Deek deek deek it. What's the sitch?" That was like her catchphrase.
When you say old, you mean like 5 years old?
No, when I say old, I mean like if I'm 30, it would have been when I was 20 years old, 15 to 20 years old.
Right. When you say old cartoon, Andy thinks of like Bugs Bunny in black and white. Andy thinks of like propaganda, World War II propaganda cartoons with racist Japanese.
I love Bugs Bunny, by the way.
All right, should we launch this bad boy? Speaking of rockets,
let's blow this up.
Let's launch it. Whoa, and welcome.
Whoa, welcome.
Right into the microphone, Jay. Happy New Year, everybody. This is our special Offstage Acting New Year's episode.
Yes.
Bringing it to you throughout 2024 and into 2025. It's the Offstage Acting Podcast.
2025, more like 2023. Am I
Whoa!
right?
Oh, snap!
Oh, snap, he
Oh no,
said
you
it.
didn't.
Oh, no, I
I
did.
agree. I agree with you. We've had a
Thank you.
fabulous year, haven't we?
We have had a fabulous year. I mean, we've been doing this podcast for like a year.
Yeah,
We've done it.
it's been almost a year. We're not. First of all, we're not claiming that this is actually being recorded on New Year's, but this is our New Year's episode. We're still
Yes,
about.
yes, yes.
We're a little less. We're about a few weeks away from New Year's, but it is the end of the year.
Yep.
Um, we have been going pretty strong. I think we'll
Decently
have to
strong.
do, huh?
I said decently strong. Yes, yes, yes.
Decently strong. Yeah. Yeah, I think fairly strong.
Fairly strong.
Officially, I think we've launched our first podcast on January 24th, something
Was
like
that when
that.
we recorded it or when we launched it?
The first launch came out. I remember. Yeah. We recorded it a little earlier, but it took a while to get it up and running. So
Oh, yeah.
probably we'll have to have a little bit of like a woohoo 52 episodes, and then it's officially, to me, that's like a year, 52
That's
weeks, 52
official.
episodes.
Word.
So we'll get there. But
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, folks, it's just going to be Jay and myself this episode.
That's right, everyone. Just
We
Jay and Todd.
just Jay and Todd, and we wanted to wrap things up for you and have a little catch up about all the fun and all the great things that have been going on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Todd messaged me. He was like, "Hey, Jay, any ideas?" And I was like, "For our little bonus episode today." And I was like, "I know, I won't let it go. It's a problem."
That's the
And I was
thing.
like, "Actually, I do have an idea. I think we should talk about like New Year's and go over this year and what we've done and what we're looking forward to." And
Yeah.
Todd was like, "Heck yes, brother." And here
Let's
we
do
are.
it. That'll be an annual thing. We'll be doing that for the next 10 years.
That's right.
So look forward to that, folks. That's going to be an annual. This is the first annual
The first
offstage act.
annual.
Ooh, offstage acting New Year's episode. And we're gonna go 1 year at a time. So,
That's right.
how was your year?
I had a good year. How was my I'm less good. I'm much better at future, less good at past. But
Mm-hmm.
I was having to make a
I mean, just an assessment. Your professionally and personally.
personally very good, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
This meditation retreat I went on to,
Right.
it was in July and it's now what, 5 months, 4 or 5 months. I'm still veggie, I'm still sober, I'm still meditating an hour a day. And I think
Wow.
it's been really good for my mental health. um like in a very genuine way, like because the month of November was like a very low month for career where I wasn't doing much, but
Mm-hmm.
I it's probably the best month in my life that I've like been able to like deal with that. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm just really proud of, because low months happen, right? Like where you're not doing as much or there's not as much work
Hmm.
or blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And what's more important, I think, is that the way you handle it. And I feel like this last month is the best I've ever handled a low month. So I'm really proud of that. Um, I don't know if that makes
Low in
sense.
terms of just your energy, your
I think in
attitude.
terms of energy, like usually if I have low energy, right? Like I'm not doing a bunch of productive things or I haven't been hired for a bunch of jobs,
Right.
like I really beat myself up for it.
Hmm.
Even though that's like, that's just, the wave of life, bro. And I say that, facetiously, but it's true. There's ups
Hmm.
and downs.
Yeah.
And usually
Ebbs and tides. Yeah.
yeah, and in a down, I will usually like,
Peaks and valleys.
yes, in the valley, I will sort of beat myself
Trough.
up for
Hmm.
it. In the trough, yeah, in the trough, in the down, in the valley. Um, yeah, I'll beat myself up for it. Or like make it more negative than it is, right? And this last month I was like, "No, that's great. I'm gonna, I work here and there, but I'll play my video games, I'll see the people I want to see, and I'll not do everything, and that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. And I'll do more next month, and I'll have plenty more to do for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Good.
but the
Oh,
year's been great. Professionally has been great. So I'm hoping to have a good one going forward too.
all right. I know you're a future boy now, you said. So, what's your New Year's resolution? Do you do resolutions?
I do well. Oh my gosh, I'm talking so much. That's how I know it's a bonusode.
Yeah.
Uh, you guys,
I'm
Todd
having
is
to
just
I'm having to manipulate
grimacing.
I'm having to manipulate the volume because you're like really just
I
going
know,
for it.
really.
So I'm like, ugh.
I don't know if we did a sound check. That might be my
No, I'm
anyway.
monitoring from my end. It's just,
Okay, good.
it's more Jay that I'm used to hearing.
Okay.
But I want to hear
Well,
what. Let's hear the resolution.
okay, so instead of resolutions, I got this from old mentor. I sort of do intention words or intention phrases. So at the
Okay.
very beginning of the year, I set usually it's just one word, but it can be an idea or a concept or a phrase. But oftentimes it's just a single word.
Okay.
This word, my intention word
The
was
word.
place.
Oh, I was gonna do a little build up there. Okay.
Oh no, so no, this is an upcoming year. I'm telling you, this was my current year that
Oh
I'm at
wait.
the end of.
Okay, then wait. Let me find. So what was it again? I missed it.
The one I'm like at the end of now, the word I picked was place.
Place. Okay. Any
As in,
special meaning to that? Yeah.
well, both the meaning of where one lives, a place of where, but also like to intentionally place something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
when you place an object, you're not just like throwing it, right? Like you're
Right.
choosing
Right.
to put something in a certain
Right. With
place. You are
intention.
placing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So place was my word this
I
year.
like that. That's got some. It's got some bite to it. I can see that. Place.
Yeah, so
Did
the
it work
words
for you? Has it worked? Did the
well, it has ended up more working in they always work, right? Like the things you manifest, they always like come to fruition. You just don't always get to choose how they do. But yeah, it did. My room, I'm in a cool room. My new place I'm in, it ended
mm-hmm.
up being location. Favorite room I've ever been in.
Where you place yourself,
Um,
where you place your thoughts, the
yeah,
place you find
and
yourself, and
meditating, and I have a place
meditating.
to meditate. Like
Right.
I very
Having place,
specifically,
making
yeah,
place for yourself. Yeah, it
yeah.
goes. That's a good word. Did you pick that out of a hat, or was that
N-
you?
no,
All
that was
your
me.
baby Jay's brain
Yeah, I know. I
picked that all by
have
itself.
an intellect. It's surprising, I know.
All right.
I won't assume to have multiple.
Wait a minute. Now let's talk about the word. Now I'm gonna give it a little. Let's hear the word. You ready?
Okay.
The word is 2025. Your word.
Oh
We're,
my gosh.
dear
I
God, we're waiting for you.
oh,
Have you never heard a drum roll before?
yes, I thought you were gonna say
I don't
yours.
have a word.
You
I'm
don't have
just
a
learning
word?
about this.
Do you wanna make a word?
I want. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. Oy vey. This is what
Patience,
happens. Wait.
tolerance,
Oh gosh. You can take your time. I'll ask you in a later episode.
patience. That's my word. Patience for Jay. What's your word for 2025? Do I have to give you another drum roll?
No, because it's I haven't figured it's a concept. I haven't figured out the word for it. Maybe you can help me find the
Oh,
word.
you okay? All
Because it's a
right.
concept that I don't know the word for it
Oh, you're
yet.
still mulling. Okay, I thought you had the word. All right. What do you got?
Well, I have
What's
like
the concept?
so okay, it's a story. I know I'm talking so much, but I when I was a kid, I was a black belt in Taekwondo, right? And so to get our red belt, I did this for 4 or 5 years. To get your red belt, you
Wait,
had to
there's
be able to
something
break a
higher than a
board.
black belt?
No, there isn't. But to get into one of the earlier belts, to get to red, which is either one or two before
Oh,
black,
okay. All right.
yeah, yeah. You had to be able to break a board, right?
Yeah,
And this is
with
difficult.
your forehead.
With
No.
well, with a kick, but then also you could either choose a punch, a palm, or like an elbow, and everyone
Right.
obviously at first chooses elbow because you're breaking a board. But you learn after doing it enough times, actually discover that the secret to breaking a board has nothing to do with strength.
Right.
It actually has everything to do with like aiming beyond the board, right? Most
Yeah.
people, when you break the board, you try to hit the board. But
Right.
really, if you put your
Punch
attention
through.
and focus and yeah, and aim beyond it,
Right.
breaking the board will just become secondary to getting to your goal,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I
And
like
if
it.
you can embody that, like, and you can't just like think that, you have to like really feel it and like trust your body. But then when you do it, it's so easy. Breaking the board is super easy.
Mm-hmm.
So that concept of like aiming beyond,
Right.
right? That and, like and having the things I want just be secondary to, like, what my my vision is for the future.
Mm-hmm.
I That's my goal. That concept of aiming beyond is my
All
word.
right.
I
Well,
don't
I
know the
think you
word
found
for
it.
it.
You already found the word. The word is right there. You
Aiming
got it.
beyond.
That's 2 words.
Beyond.
Do it again.
Beyond.
Wow. We did it. We did
We
it,
did it.
Jay.
Wait, so, okay, do you have one? Do you have an idea?
I like yours.
Absolute deflection. Okay,
I
fine.
think we found it. No, I kind of dig it. Beyond. Let's do it. Let's do it together. Let's go beyond.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because
You're
I
good.
got a lot of. I'm not. I know. It seems like I'm busting your chops a little bit, but I'm kind of serious. I got a lot of plans
Do
for the future.
you?
Yeah, stuff
Ooh,
for
play
offstage acting. Well, I wanted to introduce some new series. I think components. I've got some ideas to evolve this thing. I want to do a casting director series, which would just
Oh,
be yeah. Um,
that's smart.
thank you, thank you. I, I pride myself on
On your multiple intellects.
making
That's smart.
smart decisions. Yeah, so it won't be kind of it'll be part and parcel with the show we have now, which I really like, which is I like talking to the actors, you know.
Yeah, love it.
But maybe aspiring actors would find it equally or maybe even more useful to hear from casting directors, and it would be an interesting
Yeah,
um, because
I think
they're
you're right.
obviously sort of the gatekeepers to how we so to unravel that and dissect and dig in. And there's a lot of interesting casting directors out there, obviously, and they've all not all, but a lot of them have been actors and performers themselves at some point, and I've seen most of them in this country and even in the States and elsewhere. So I thought maybe a monthly or something like that, or a regular
Mm,
series where so it's offstage acting casting series or something like that.
mm,
I want to do more offstage acting. I want to start doing some clips with offstage acting scenes.
hmm,
Start putting that up on YouTube, just like really cool, like the best of the best kind of acting scenes from movies and stuff and TV shows, like just the cream of the crop, like and then maybe a little commentary about what's so great about like where you can see, because sometimes you
mm.
see a scene and you go, man, that blew me away, and it might be in something just obscure, some little comedy or some
Yeah, yeah, totally.
a little television series or something. You go, man, they really knocked it out of the park, and then why,
Mm.
why did it work a little bit? We're gonna start doing more stuff with Robert. He's he's getting his gear together, and we're gonna do more of these
A review
audience
guy?
review, yeah, movie reviews, and with others that's coming. So I think a lot more content basically being produced and variations of what we're already doing, but with a variety of guests, going beyond the actors. You know, we've just put up our 40th episode, man.
Wow.
Yeah, we just put it up, and we've got a few more in the bag.
Most people
Um,
do like 5.
and then they quit. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, we're already in the top 90% of all podcasts just
really?
because we
That
have
doesn't surprise me
because we have
because we
longevity.
because
Yeah.
we have more than 10. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, precisely. Most of them don't make it that far. And if you're listening to this by now, then you would have heard our Christmas episode with some. We've had great guests recently, including
We have.
Santa Claus, which is awesome. And so I just want to have more of that kind of stuff, more international guests we're gonna get because
Mm.
we just heard from our newest friend Ricardo Camacho in
In
Colombia,
Bogota.
in
Mhm.
Bogota. It was beautiful. Um, so yeah, I've got those kind of things, and I'm thinking I like this word beyond.
Yay.
Yeah, to really push the boundaries of things and even see beyond whatever limitations you might feel you have, and especially even if you're an actor and you're out there trying to make a go of it at this point, um, see beyond your expectations and you land on your expectations. That's an old philosophy, an East Asian philosophy, I think, of sorts. But
Is it?
oh yeah, that's a known kind of thing to do.
I think
I
it's
think a
coming back.
lot of motivational coaches would probably say, hey, if you want to land. Oh, I tell you where I know it from for sure
Uh-huh.
is jumping,
Jumping.
jumping like
Like bungee jumping?
hurdles. No, no, not jumping off of stuff, jumping over stuff or
Okay.
onto stuff like parkour,
Got it.
and pole vaulting. I used to pole vault when I was a younger guy and run
Oh.
hurdles and stuff. And the idea was always like, don't aim for the thing you're gonna land on. Aim to go over and above the thing you'll land on, and then you'll land on it. So
Mm.
I'm familiar with it, but beyond, beautiful.
Beyond.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what? It's also like be like yourself beyond, like yonder. Be over there. Be whatever. Now I'm
Okay.
getting all
Wow. Like the
um
imperative.
like be yeah, be as in be.
I
Be
I
yon.
understand the imperative.
Yeah.
It means to
I
be
don't know
beyond.
English Like
Words,
preposition, noun,
y-
those things,
structure. You don't
gerund. No, I didn't learn those.
the
Like, I don't know what
language.
those mean.
You don't know the language of English.
I don't know the science of English. No, I don't.
Yeah, it's the science. Yeah. Um, I
It,
taught English for 7 years.
in Prague?
Yeah. Yeah. I started when I first kind of got there. I was like, man, what am I going to do? And the teaching English was everywhere. You could get a job pretty quick. So, yeah, I started doing that for some pocket money, kept it going. Then I quit all the schools I was working for and I kept my private clients.
Hmm.
And you don't learn anything as well as you will learn it if you have to teach it.
Yeah, it goes
So
like that, doesn't
it
it?
was through the teaching of English that I was like, and people are going, but why do you say these things? And I go, I don't know. We just do. Don't ask questions. Just say it the way I say it. And finally I was like, I better figure it
I
out.
better learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Then they asked me once if I could do, that ELT stuff you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of that is they asked me if I could teach that stuff to get your like C levels in the English language. I was like, yeah, man, I can teach that. I don't know what. And I went to teach this girl or whatever, and she goes, this is the test I have to take. And it looked like Latin. I was like, I don't know what any of that stuff is. Like how to dissect. I
Wait,
couldn't
for
remember.
English?
Yeah. It was crazy. Like the grammar, there's a whole nother world of grammar that I was like, oh, I don't know. I can't. She knew more than I did. She was like a 23-year-old Czech girl, and she was like, this. I took this test, and now I have to go if I want to get these levels. And I go, I don't even know why anybody would need that stuff, but okay, I guess you do, and you better learn it from somebody that knows it because
Knows it.
I said I
Oh my,
did, but I actually don't. Sorry. Yeah, it was. Audiences,
oh my
if you know
gosh.
something about that, reach out. Um, but anyway, I will tell you a little bit about. I just thought we could go through the highlights of our year,
Okay, okay.
and then maybe some things will come up for you as well.
Great.
Because for me, I'll tell you a big one.
Yeah.
I celebrated the 1 year anniversary of quitting smoking in
Oh
October.
my.
Yeah, thank you.
If I could cue the clap emoji, I would, but I
Oh,
can't.
I'll do it
Do it
for
for
you.
yourself.
Here's a big
Do it
cheer.
for yourself.
Haha, that's a laugh. I don't know why there's a laugh too. No, we don't need that. And I got a bunch of weird ones. Yeah, here we go. Yay, thank you. Oh, thank you. That's nice. Yeah, appreciate that, everybody. Fairly proud of that.
Yeah, it's hard.
It was, you know what? I was tasting cigarettes and
Really?
still tasting them occasionally. Yeah. Like,
When was the hardest? Like what time period?
it's a good question. I've quit many times, but this time I knew it was like, this is for good. I wasn't even enjoying anymore. It was making me ill every time, but I was just like stuck in these triggers. Oh my God. And I did this thing with the NHS, like stop
Oh,
smoking thing.
how much did it not work?
Oh, it didn't work much at all. Yeah. Mm.
Okay. Yeah,
No,
I
because
still
you get this,
remember
you
you
remember it?
used to. No, I remember
Oh,
you coming to Cambridge, and
oh yeah. We
I
met
think
and I was up in the
was that
smoking
when we
section.
first met? That might have been
No, we
either the
met.
first or second time we met. The first time was EOT, and then the second time I
No,
think was at
we just randomly met there. I mean, no, we had met many months prior, but I saw you there. We met up, but we didn't know we both had the same job on
yes,
the
and
same
you were in the
day.
smoker
And
section
I
at
was
the
up
time.
there on the hill smoking. I was like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
yeah, in the middle of winter. It was ice cold. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, I remember I saw that and I was like, bold.
it was about 2 years
That
ago,
man is
probably.
smoking before a voiceover sesh. This man, that is bold.
Oh, it used to get really bad too. I'd be the only one that would leave at ADR on a break and go out and have a cigarette. Whereas back in the day, everybody would be like, oh,
Everyone
let's go.
would.
Yeah, go smoke. Let's go have a smoke. Yeah. And I'm out there in the street. And I remember I didn't have a light one day. And I was like, who has a light? And I asked about 25 people. And everybody's going, yeah, I don't have a light, man. I don't have a light. I'm like, come on. You smoke. You look like you smoke. Look at you. You're a tradesman. Look at your hands. Come on, man. Quit holding out. Finally found some lorry driver. It was getting bad. And
Oh gosh.
it was making me it was making me ill generally.
Well,
Uh,
good that you stopped.
but I went to the NHS and I was like, just quick story. I was like,
Yeah.
And it's one of these, do you need help? Call this hotline. We're going to help you, you know. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And what do you expect when you call the the quit smoking hotline?
I don't know, some lady who's like, "You need help,"
Yeah.
something like that.
Some lovely, like, lady who goes, okay, let's talk about your smoking.
Let's talk about your options.
When did you
Let's go through
start
some
and what are your
plans.
triggers? And let's talk options and what do you feel like you. And I got this woman from, no offense, but how do I say,
Uh-oh.
how do I put this delicately? Not
Not English?
native English speaking from a foreign land didn't, whose only objective was to, like, as quickly as possible get me to quit. To tick to tick off the box and go, that's enough. You know, like, okay, you quit now. You want patch or you want lozenge? You want patch or lozenge? And I was like, I don't want either of those things. She goes, okay, I give you patch. And I go, I don't want. And she goes, send you a prescription for the patch. You want 12 milligram, 24 milligram? I go, I don't think, I don't. She goes, 24. And I get this, and then I go pick it up, and then she goes, I call you in 6 weeks. And she calls me back and goes, you get the patch? You using the patch? And I was like, no, I tried it, and it's not very, it makes me feel. She goes, why don't you use it? You put the patch. You just go put the patch on now. And I was like, okay. And the patch just made me sick because it's just nicotine, like straight into the
It's just
bloodstream, right?
pure
Just
nicotine.
pure, like more nicotine than I ever got from one cigarette, just like injecting. And then finally I was like, I had to help this poor lady out. She calls me back. She goes, you quit yet? And I go, oh, yeah. Yeah, I totally quit. She's like, okay, good. Whew. Hey, very good. I'm really proud of you. She goes, I'm going to write that you've quit. And I could tell she gets like bonus points for getting people to quit. So she's just in a big hurry. And then, of course, I was smoking while I was talking to her on the phone. Like, yeah, I had my last cigarette. And I was just like, I'm standing at the door, literally smoking, while I'm talking to her. Because she made me so nervous that I needed a cigarette. Anyway, finally, I just went cold turkey and quit. And it was hard. But in terms of New Year's resolutions, I think that's a great one. If you're still smoking out there, folks, every inhale, every time you suck on that cigarette, you're not taking in a lungful of smoke. It's taking life out of you. This message brought to you by the Non-Smoking Authority of Offstage Acting.
Offstage acting.
Yeah. So that's one.
Okay.
Speaking of talking a lot.
Great. I love hearing.
Yeah. Launched this podcast and the whole Offstage Acting project. So that's pretty cool. That's been the bulk and body of my year.
I mean, it's only an obscene amount of work.
Right.
I don't think executive producer is even the right word. You're just like a producing executive more, right? Because you're the one that's making everything. Because an executive producer is often just the writer, right? Am I thinking
No,
of
the
something?
the executive would do all the content. They'd be in charge of the thing that goes out. So they would have a hand in everything, but there would be, maybe if it was a big thing, it would be a different department for marketing, a different department for graphics, for guest booking and stuff, even though the exec producer would have a hand in all that. But they would be in charge of the finished product. So they would like shape how the podcast sounds and looks in a sense, you know. So I'm doing that for now. I would like to hand it over to somebody. Anybody want to executive produce this thing? Write to hello@offstageacting.com and send your CV. I'm taking anybody at this point.
Really? I don't believe that for a second,
If you ever
Todd.
had an inkling,
You
I've offered it
you
to a lot of people, and they go, "Yeah, I'd like to," and then they ghost me. So we'll see.
Okay, we'll see.
Um,
But you
but
have vision, Todd. You say that, but like other people could do something, and you're like, no, guys, like do it right, please. You you're an executive producer, and you're so good at it because you have a vision, and you're like, it needs to meet that, and if it doesn't meet it, it's wrong.
high
So
standards. Some people would call that
high
being a
standards,
control freak, but
high standards.
high standard. The control freak
Got
with
a
high
file
standards.
cabinet when they were 10 years old. Yeah,
Did
I'll never forget that.
I tell you that story on air?
You absolutely did.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's the true story. Very organized. Very organized. You have to be in
It,
this game.
everything made sense for
After
you
you knew that,
after I
after you
heard
heard that
that,
story.
and that it was from your mom. For some
Yeah.
reason, that was just like, oh my gosh, everything just fell into place.
Someday I'll tell you the story of how I became officially a latchkey kid, and then maybe even that'll make more sense. Things will make.
Latchkey. I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what a latchkey kid is? Oh,
Uh-uh.
that's an old term. Andy will remember that term. That's an
Oh,
old
okay.
term for well, kind of around my era. Oh well, I'll just tell you the story at this point. Jeez, it's got nothing to do with nothing. But you'll understand what the story is. You'll understand what the term means from the story.
Okay. Okay.
It's a kid that is in charge of himself and has his own key to his house, even though he's a little kid, or she, right?
A latch key, because that's what like a latch key
A latch key.
is like
Yeah,
on.
it's old. Yeah, the latch keys, meaning
I thought it was like
the
the
door
last
latch.
name of like a mob, the Latchkey family, like a Russian mob family, the Latchkey.
Oh yeah, or like Keystone Cops or something. Yeah, the
Yeah,
latch
okay,
keys.
no,
Yeah, the
it's a
latch keys
latch.
ran Chicago from 1925 to 1932. No, when I was 7 years old, again,
Got it.
a very quick story. My mother, she wanted to get divorced from my stepfather at the time, I think. So she went out and got a real estate license and all this, and then she got a job as a real estate agent. So I just remember being 7. This is an awful story to tell, but I don't want people to feel sorry for me. But it is the official day I became a latchkey kid when somebody went, "Whose mom is that? Whose mom is that?" And you know how in like a little elementary school, like somebody's mom shows up and it's like a big deal.
Mhm.
Everybody's like, "Whoa, there's a strange adult in the room,
Oh, it's
and
someone's
someone's mom's here. Whoa, is that your mom? Whose mom is that?" And my mother was very pretty, actually, and struck a quite a imposing figure, you could say, or made an impression when she walked into a room anyway, much less with a group of second graders. And I went,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's my mom." And she called me over, and the teacher, and she goes, "I have a new job, and I'm starting today, and this is the key to the house." I'm holding up a spoon for anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And she goes, "That's the key to the house. When you go home, you know how to get home. Just let yourself in, and there's milk and cookies or whatever, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You just make for yourself, and you hang out, and I'll be home around like 5, 6 o'clock, whatever. And then we'll make dinner and stuff." My stepfather was kind of gone and out of the picture at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, "Okay." And then the teacher goes, "Let's put that on a little bit of yarn and we'll tie it around your neck, a little string of yarn, and that way you won't lose it." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm just like wide-eyed and stuff. And my mother goes, "And when you get home, there's a present waiting for you." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
ding."
smart mom.
Smart mom, right? Because then I was
Smart
like,
mom. Make
"Nice."
sure you get in. You wanna get in.
Get in, and there'd be a little present waiting for me. And I was like, "This will be a special day." So, and I'm telling this because the other present story that you know. And then I get home, I know the way, I get off the bus, I walk, I'm all cool, I get in the door,
You
and I
figure it out.
I
You
figured it all out. Like, okay, no problem. So far, so good. Where's the present? I go, and sure enough, there was a little box with a little present. I unwrap it, open the present, lift the lid off the box, and what was the gift, Jay?
a screwdriver. I don't know, tell me.
A keychain.
Of course. For the key.
A keychain for the
Brilliant.
latchkey kid. So that's the day I officially
Brilliant.
became a latchkey kid. Isn't that a sad but funny but poignant little story?
I don't think that's sad. I just have respect for your mom. I'm just gonna say it. Like that woman. Were you the first? You were the first child. You're the oldest child, weren't you?
I'm her only child. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's not your story right there. A youngest child does not get those stories.
Right.
Like in a series, and
Right.
and only that makes sense. But like oldest or were you her first child?
I'm her only child.
Oh yeah, you already said that. At the time, at the time,
Jeez. At the
yeah,
time she had me, yeah, I was her first. I was also her
and
last.
only,
Yeah.
That is the definition of only.
That's the definition of only. Anyway, a lonely child, I think I should say. Anyway,
Lonely.
that was just forget all that. Forget I said all that. That's just crazy. That's a
No,
latchkey kid. Anyway.
there you
But
go.
thank you for the
Good
compliment. I do
job.
feel like the creativity is flowing, and I'm really having fun with this. I hope we all are. It's fun to watch it grow, and I will be launching by the end of the year. Also,
End of
so
2025 or this year?
2024 this year, so you're right in time for New Year's Eve, the rockin' New Year's Eve. My coaching program for
Oh, great.
yeah, I'm gonna start bringing actors into young aspiring actors. Well, not young, but aspiring, and necessarily young, but aspiring actors into the coaching program. Um, to help them on their journey to go from passion to profession, as I call it, so that they can learn a little bit more, get some insight. You know, that industry insight that we're all sort of lacking when you start out and you're thinking, hey, this is great. You know, I got all the training and I got all the skills. I'm going to just go out. I got my headshot. I'm go out there and be an actor now. But you don't have any clue about what to expect, like from the business side, right?
I still remember your modeling story when you were like, you know what a model is and you've been trained, but you're like,
Right.
what? But then you went into the bookshop and you found that
Yeah.
little like pamphlet book,
Yeah. The
and it just
pink.
like set you exactly on the path you needed to.
Yeah. Somebody out there was like, they understood, like, well, what I needed to know.
Like actually you needed like logistically and like usefully, the
Yeah.
useful info.
Yeah. The info. And it was a printout on pink paper. And I was like, I paid $15 for it, man. Best money ever spent. It was good times. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the idea,
You could do that.
but an upgrade, and it doesn't cost $15, unfortunately. A little, it's a little bit more.
Great.
But so that's exciting. Yeah, lots of exciting. I think 2025 is going to be a good year. We have a new for those of Americans who are listening. We have a new president coming into office.
We do.
2020, January 2020th. So that's always a big thing when a new president gets inaugurated. And this is the only thing I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
To anyone on either side, because we're not political here at Offstage Acting.
Not really, no.
I can tell you, though, what will happen. No, inauguration is January 2020, January 20th, 2025. And I can tell you what will happen on January 21st, 2025. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. Do you want to know?
Oh, you are? Okay, I'm curious. Tell me.
Everybody's going to wake up and the world will still be here.
It'll be I was about to say the sun's gonna rise. I was about to be cheeky
There
and
you
say
go.
that.
Attaboy.
I was about to be cheeky. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah. So no fear, everybody. Everything's still going to be good. But apart from that, I think we're going to have a pretty good year. I hope so anyway.
I think so too. I'm gonna be gone in March. I'm going to India.
Wow.
I was gonna be in August, but then I had to change it for audio drama job. So as you know,
Nice.
whenever you book a travel, you get a job during that. So who knows? Maybe I won't go to India in March because something else is gonna happen.
Oh, that's the best way. I'm telling you, the best way to book.
But now
Yeah.
I'm now like 550 pounds down the pooper in just like changing plane fees.
Oof.
Just because I've had to change it twice now.
Oh my gosh. Maybe you should
That's
just
fine.
not go to India anymore.
No, I should because
just
I
get
keep getting work. So I need to continue.
Best
Maybe I
way.
should forever be going to India.
Just forever have a ticket to India.
That's what I'm.
You know,
starting
you
to
should
think.
you should try to do a Bollywood movie while you're there.
Honestly, I would love it.
They shoot them.
I would love to be in an Indian soap opera. Have you seen them? They
Oh,
are actually crazy,
they're
and
crazy.
I would
gorgeous.
I would love to. I would love it.
Yeah. I'm so keen to be in more like foreign stuff. I don't know why. I just have this obsession with like, I want to be in a Turkish, like, period piece. I want to be in a Japanese sitcom. Just be the white guy that kind of comes in and goes, "Hi, everybody, I'm the American." And they do whatever. And then they laugh at me and stuff. And then I go, "Whoa."
Sounds fun to me.
It's fun. I just want to do more. I want to be in a Korean thing, and Nollywood. I would love to do a Nollywood movie. Just rock down there.
Nollywood.
Yeah, Nollywood. I would love. I'm trying to get some Nollywood guests.
Nah.
Namibia. That's the new. Close.
New.
Namibia. Close. New Hollywood.
New Hollywood.
New Delhi.
South Africa. New Delhi. Yeah.
No.
But wouldn't that be Bollywood?
No. That's Bollywood.
New Zealand? No, it wouldn't be that.
No.
Nope.
Nigeria.
Oh, okay. I was pretty close.
Nigeria. Yeah, Lagos. And there's another big city there that they are making like 3 movies a day. I mean, it's kind of an exaggeration, but they really are. They're making tons and tons. They have a huge industry going there. Yeah. They crank these things out.
Was I telling you about these vertical dramas?
Yeah.
I told. Did we
Well,
already
you,
talk
you
about
told
them?
me off air, but tell us again. Tell
No.
the
So
audience.
tomorrow. I'm shooting for my fourth one
Nice.
this year. They're these like minute long episodes, and there's 50 of them, and they're basically a soap opera. They're called a
Right.
vertical drama because you watch them on your phone.
Yeah,
I was
perfect.
talking to someone there. In 2022, vertical dramas had a revenue of like 7 million, and in
Wow.
2023, the revenue was like 200 million. So like this
Wow.
kind of content is like super trending upwards.
Yes,
And
yes.
the company I've been in that I've is totally Chinese. I mean, like almost everyone, the whole crew,
Right.
the producer, almost all of them are Chinese. The funding is definitely coming from China. So there's a lot of money in like international film. What you're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about sounds kind of similar. I don't know
Well,
how
that's why
similar.
I'm telling you, like Nigeria, Philippines, South Korea, obviously uh, India, which has been for a long time, but these are still like really burgeoning markets, emerging markets, taking off. And it makes sense. Things are moving and shaping and shifting away from Hollywood, full stop.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm hearing a lot of rumors that there's not a lot of work in LA, that studios are closed, that people aren't getting work, people are leaving. A lot of the work's in Atlanta these days.
Yep, I've
And
heard
it's,
that.
different places, Toronto, and they're just shooting all over. But it's becoming an international
Yeah.
enterprise, entertainment now. It's things like the Squid Game and these K dramas and
Totally.
stuff are huge.
Huge.
Now, are you speaking Chinese in your?
No, I'm not. It's no, because it's geared like it's Chinese produced, but the people who buy it they're like Midwestern women in their middle ages.
Really? And the Chinese
Uh-huh.
know how to approach those people? They have
I don't
a
know. It's called like movie reels or something. I don't know. It's some app that basically a bunch of middle-aged women in the
hmm,
United States are all doing this, and so they've just
they're
hopped on.
doing it.
They're making these things. So it might be these international companies, but like the market who they're like aimed at might be different, right? Like I wonder if Nollywood, if their market is also people
No,
in
no. This
Nigeria.
is purely for their own people. Other
Mm,
other African nations and cultures are into Nigerian drama and comedy,
hmm,
but mostly it's produced for themselves and in their
got it.
own languages, which I'm unfortunately not very very familiar with. But they do stuff in, I guess it's Pidgin, I want to say, which is kind of a form of English,
Mm.
but also with their native languages. Nigeria has. I did a little research in this. Nigeria has several major languages,
Oh,
and so yeah, which I wouldn't remember at this point, but there
do they
are,
have like one more centralized one that most
well,
people know?
English, like a Pidgin English. Yeah, they all speak kind of English.
Oh,
They basically all speak English. With, you know what Pidgin is? It's like
I
accent.
didn't. I don't.
Pidgin is like they speak that in the Philippines too. It's kind of a mix of their own language and a bunch of languages with English. Like
Oh,
you take
okay.
English as the stock, the base, and then you throw in a lot of your own dialect and your own slang from different
Oh,
variety
that's
of
called
languages.
pigeon,
It'd be called like Pidgin English, yeah. Pidgeon, I guess.
like the bird.
Pigeon. No, that would be unlike the bird. Um,
Is the bird not have a D? Okay,
don't
well,
believe maybe. No, now we're just showing our ignorance.
yeah,
Again,
over
audiences,
how to
if you
spell
if
pigeon.
how do you spell Nollywood? Um, uh, well, pigeon. Anyway, so that's
Okay, yeah,
their market in Nigeria is for their own
for
and their
themselves.
own
Okay.
themes and stuff. That's why I was wondering about the Chinese thing, because they do it for their own themes, their own kind of storylines, and this is the stuff that's interesting to people. Nigerians don't want to watch Friends. They got no, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't resonate with anybody.
No,
You know,
that makes sense.
they
You want to
they
watch
got their,
something that resonates with you? Yeah.
yeah, with their own stories and their own kind of. My Bollywood movie is out. I haven't seen it yet, by the way. I saw a trailer.
Oh, you were in a Bollywood movie?
I was in one this year. That's one of my, yeah,
What? Oh, that's
one of
so
my
fun. Did you
highlights.
dance?
No, no. I said it was Bollywood, but not in the kind of way that you think. La, 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 la. You don't. You think that, but it was a kind of a drama based on a true story of a man who basically came to the UK to retrieve his daughter. I don't know too much about the story, and I play the foster parent of the daughter that they stuck the daughter with me and my wife,
Huh.
and then this guy comes to collect her. Basically, he kind of kidnaps her back from. He sneaks into the country and kidnaps her back, but they kind of make him look like a hero. It's called Big Ben. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Maybe at some point.
Cool.
There's. I saw I saw the trailer pop up somewhere, and I'm in it. I look pretty good. But that was an
Great.
experience to these guys shoot like. This is the other thing that's interesting because after having done so many traditional Hollywood projects and big budget things and what I would call traditional filmmaking projects, then to get on the set with a bunch of Indians who, by the way, don't. They all also in India speak a variety of languages, right? So there were Indians on the set that couldn't speak to each other from their own country, except in
Yeah, they have
English.
a bunch of different
Yeah,
languages.
yeah. So there was interpreters for other Indians, which was like crazy. And then
Huh.
and they shoot like guerrilla, man, just like boom, boom. There was no
Like really fast.
super fast. They set it up. They had a super professional camera. I mean, like with a lens that the lens, bro, $80,000
What?
for the lens. They had a guy whose responsibility was
Just
to
to protect.
babysit the lenses. The lenses were 80,000 and above for a couple of these. Yeah. And
What?
yeah, crazy. And there was a breakout. There was I didn't tell you all this. There was like
No.
the Irish boys showed up. We were at this hotel that had been closed down, and it was like going to be. And because they had used the hotel for migrants, like for refugees, asylum seekers. And
Got it.
that place got trashed, and then they closed the hotel down. And the owners were selling it. The owners were Indian, but there was like some Indian security guards hanging around. But the hotel had still been up online on Booking. And so these Irish boys, about 25 Irish lads, I swear,
Were they squad?
had booked the place to go to
Oh.
a festival, like a summer music festival that was down the road.
Oh, they like booked rooms.
They rocked up at like midnight while we're out there. I'm out there running around shooting a movie that's crazy already because it's like Indian, like, and I'm going, man, what is this? And here comes these drunk Irish lads, and they're like, oh, where's the reception? What did I get here? What's going on? Hey, and they're yelling all over the place, and there's no reception. There's a reception desk, but there's like food shooting a movie here. And the guys are, I'm like, and I was the only one that could talk to them. And I go, hey, man, you guys calm down. You guys got sold a bill of goods. You can't really stay here and all this stuff. Oh, it's a long story. It's crazy. They ended up staying. They got all drunk. The security guys were trying to contain them.
Oh my gosh.
We had to shoot around them. It was
Yeah.
bizarre. It was bizarre.
All right.
I never had quite such an experience as that. So that was my Indian movie.
Okay.
Check it out. It's called Big Ben. It looks beautiful with those expensive lenses and the lighting. Those guys really did a credible job. You just wouldn't believe.
Nice.
So that was one. I did those Mark Twain books. Did a lot of ADR sessions. And I've got one big piece of news that I can share.
Oh.
But what are your highlights from the year? Now that I've mentioned a couple of mine, and then we'll wrap up.
Highlights. I still can't say the names. I did my first video game that I was really fun, and I did two
Nice.
dramas, like kind of audio dramas that I had like really awesome roles in that I'm really thankful.
Those are fun. Yeah.
They were really fun. So they were artistically fulfilling. And then I don't have the money in my account yet, but I did like an emergency, like a last minute urgent, like commercial dubbing like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
That is supposed to give me some great funds.
Ooh.
So
that's good.
Yeah. And I'll believe it when I get the notification on my phone. But for all intents and purposes, it's done.
Money's coming in, though. That's always a good feeling, I'll tell you, as an actor. You've done something, even if the money it takes a long time, you know that it's coming. So you go, okay, cha-ching. It's better because here's the deal. And I used to tell this to people. I need to be working today in order to have money 2 months from today. 2 or 3 months. So every day that I'm not working now is me starving in March, right?
Yeah.
Right, whatever it is. 3 months down the road. So then you book a job and you go, oh, okay, There's some money coming in at some point down the road.
At some point. Well, it's only, because it's a commercial, you only get the money, because it's a buyout, and you only get the money if it actually gets aired.
Right.
So part of me, again, like the fear in me is
yeah.
like, oh, it's not going to
They
get
go,
aired.
You get your daily fee.
So I'm
Here's your
not,
£300,
the daily fee, exactly. So
but
I'm
you're gonna
not
miss
like,
out on the.
I'm not putting any emotion. I have put what I'm going to spend the money on, though. I have like a list. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this. I'm going to blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
fair enough.
But,
So we're crossing
hold your
fingers
horses.
for 2025.
Yes, exactly.
We're gonna go beyond.
And you know what? Here's the thing. Even if I don't get it, I'll get there. There's going to be another one that I get more. So,
Especially
cha-ching, baby.
with next. Yeah. You're always looking beyond. You gotta keep looking beyond, man.
That's right.
I'm really hammering that thing.
You
that
you
thing.
are, but but I'm in.
Ring
I'm
that
actually there.
bell. I'm with. I think we did it on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you my story. Well, there's a story I learned a long time ago, and I'll repeat it, about my buddy with the Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah. Oh God.
You remember that one?
I do. Oh my God. Don't say it again. Don't. Yes.
Okay.
It was terrible, everyone. He didn't get his money because they didn't. It was like they
Yeah.
didn't air it, right?
Yeah. But the big mistake he made was telling everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying who I did it with, but it should be almost 10K.
Oh, snap.
I know.
So if you're looking for a handout,
If you're looking for a handout,
Jay's going to be flush with cash at some point. Hey, by the way, I wanted to talk to you, and I've been trying to get some people on board. I think I've got one of the women, a woman that broke this story. But have you heard of the Bodhi talent agent scandal that hit the UK?
This is.
I won't go into all the detail right now because we're going to have somebody on air, I think, next year.
Actually talking about it?
Yeah, who broke this? She kind of broke the story. I reached out to one of the actresses, that had been ripped off by this guy. He was an agent and he wasn't paying. And then he was lying to the talent that he hadn't gotten paid and he was chasing it and this and that. And it turned out he'd been doing this forever and he's still kind of out there doing it and stuff. And there's a woman that I discovered through this who has a podcast called The 98%, which is also for actors. And it seems like a really good podcast if you're interested. And she talks about 98%, she says, because 98% of all actors don't make a living. Only 2% of actors actually make a living at acting in that. So, but she's been working on this story for years and really flushing this guy out. And I can't remember the guy's name. I want to say Anthony or something. Yeah, it's a huge
if we
thing.
bring him on, we'll find we'll get the team.
Yeah, we're gonna get all that. Yeah, I've approached one. I'm gonna try to get another actor. Because I really want to help people understand this and also not.
Those are good stories to share.
Yeah, but you know what I realized is I sent an inquiry email to an actor who's owed about 10, 12 grand. She's owed a lot of money. Yeah, she was on The Crown and stuff like that. Those sounds are very unpleasant, by the way. And she'll never see that money because the guy got paid and then never gave it to her and then declared bankruptcy on her and stuff. So I'm thinking, oh, that's a great story. You should come on air and tell it. And she's got a new agent and, and it'll help people to know. And we'll also build your profile up so you're not just like the victim of this thing, but we'll find out more about you. Excuse me. And I realized, oh no, it's still a little early days for her. Like she was, you know what I mean?
The trauma.
Yeah. I got ahead of myself.
Right.
I imagine how you would feel if you just found out you got ripped off for your 10 grand. And then I go, hey, why don't you come on board this wacky podcast and tell us all about how you got ravaged. Tell us about how humiliated and, and upset and angry you are and stuff. Plus, she had already liked this other podcast. But that's a whole thing. So when we talk about, this is for audiences, when we talk about, hey, crossing fingers that I'll even get paid on this thing, it's not even that it'll air. There's a few other things that it's not money in the bank. You book it, you shoot it, you do it, right. And then the money's got to go to the agent, and the agent has to pass it on to you. And a lot of things can happen,
And even before that, because it's like the client, and then they pay
the client
like the studio,
holds, and then the production company gets the thing, right? And then the production company gets invoiced by the agent, and blah, 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 blah. It's trickle down. So that's why it takes so long. If you don't know why, it takes so long for an actor to get paid. That's why I'm a cash in hand actor. I show up
Wait.
and I go, boom, let's money today, now,
Today.
cash.
Do you
I
really?
work. No, I wish I
No.
could. Can you imagine?
No.
I would never get a job.
No
I show up
way.
when I do a ADR for Phoebe. I'm like, I meet her afterwards, and she like has to get in her purse and pull out whatever change she has. 362, 360. There you go. Ching, ching, ching. I don't care if it's change. I want cash, baby. I work on cash only. Okay. Anything else to announce? Any other words of wisdom for our friends and loved ones out there on this New Year's?
No words of wisdom other than I invite you to find your own word, your intention word to take into this new year. Yeah,
I like that. I like that. I will make
do
a.
it
Yeah.
and no, and I would to the audience, do it and tell us,
Tell us about.
share
Tell
it
us
with
what your
us.
word is. Yeah. Put it in the comments here. Tell us what your word is for the year. For this year, our word is beyond. Jay and I are
The word
sharing
is
that
beyond.
word. It's going to take us into the future. And I will announce now that I will be. I decided, and I'll tell you this quickly, and then we'll let everybody go because we
Okay.
don't want to bore you all to death. Get back to your New Year's hangover. Um, I've been cast in a local production
Oh,
in my community theater.
oh my gosh, what play are you doing?
I am doing a play called Allo Allo 2, which is
Hello, like hello,
like hello, hello.
hello, governor.
There's a television show that you probably aren't familiar with. It's kind of a famous British, one of these kind of famous British sitcoms. It takes place in World War II in a French cafe, and everyone in it is mostly French and German, except for two airmen. And the whole premise of the show, it's kind of like you remember a Hogan's Heroes kind of thing.
Okay,
Kind of the same premise.
roughly.
It's like the Germans are crawling all around. This is Vichy France, World War II. The fascists are there. There's the underground movement, the French resistance, and there's a cafe owner, and everything kind of takes place around the cafe. And
Huh.
they're trying to get these airmen back to England and hide them, and it's just it's a comedy, obviously. That's the television show. They wrote a sort of a play. Well, not sort of a play. They wrote a play that's sort of an episode of the show.
Hmm.
And yeah, long story short, I met locally with the chair of the local actors group here in my town where I live that I've never
Great.
been involved with, but because I'm the local equity branch officer, right, for this
Mm-hmm.
region, I wanted to have some kind of meetings and gatherings for local artists and talent and bring the union in a bit and sponsor some events just to get people connected locally. But I thought there's no point in doing that without going to the drama group that's
Yeah, yeah.
here, right? So that because there's about 75 people in that drama group. So then at that point, we're having breakfast and he tells me, "Oh, I'm going to be directing this show coming up soon." And he goes, "We need a lot of guys. We need Nazis. We need Nazis." And I go, "Man, nobody plays a better Nazi than me."
Nazi. I
There was a time when they would just pick up the phone, Jay, when they go, "Hi, Todd." I go, "Oh, hi." Casting director who I'm familiar with. They go,
Nazi.
"We got another one for you." And the only question I would ask is, "What rank?" And they go, this one's a corporal." And I go, "Meh." I kind of like praying majors are higher. But literally, I would get the phone call. "We got a Nazi movie for you," because obviously the look.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I went out. I read. I did a table read with him, and then I did an audition, and I will be premiering. Premiering. I will be. It will be premiering, and I will be appearing
Uh-huh.
in March. And I shouldn't
Great.
say it. I shouldn't say it out loud now, but because this won't air until New Year's, I can say it. It's just a bit of
Great.
fun. It'll be a bit of fun,
Good.
and I'm
And
hoping you'll
being
come see it.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, but if it's in is it gonna be in March and April?
No, I think it's only about 10 runs. It's just a little
Because
local.
I'm literally gone the entire month of March. We'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll
Like
talk.
I'm gonna be in 28 days. Um,
Wow. Well, maybe
yeah,
you
yeah.
will. Maybe you will.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't.
because I'm gonna book something and then I'll have to
Yeah, and
change
then
it,
you'll
and then
be.
but then I'll go see your show, so it'll be a win-win-win,
Yeah,
really.
it'd be kind of fun. But I just thought, it'd be fun to get out there and get back on stage a little bit and do some stuff.
Yes.
It's
And
a
locally,
good
that's
part
good.
actually. It's a funny part, and and local. I you know what? I haven't
That's
done
important.
community theater for a long time, and I normally stay clear of it because for obvious reasons. But I thought this will be fun.
Well, I mean, that's good. That's what the point, like, theater is
That's the
about.
point. Yeah.
The local and community and like the people that are in your literal physical vicinity.
Right. Yeah, and they have a
So
nice little. There's a nice theater here. It's in the library. I mean, it's a proper good space, proscenium arch, all the works, backstage, dressing rooms. I mean, it's not a
love it.
joke. It's like a proper, yeah. So, and they got a proper budget. So it'll be a nice little piece. It's just
Welcome to England.
welcome to England. Yeah, there's tons of theater going on. So get involved, have fun. I'm gonna have fun with this one. So anyway,
Congrats, Todd.
folks, that's it. Yeah, that's 2025. Looking beyond.
Looking beyond.
Jay, I wish you all the best for your holiday.
Mm.
Your seasons I'm greeting you for the seasons. I hope you stay safe out there. You got New Year's plans?
Not yet, but they will be made at some
Right.
point.
I will be up by the time this airs, I will have already been up in Scotland visiting our good friends up there, Fraser and Jeannot in the Corwar. I like to go up there, the dark sky.
Oh yeah, this will be the second time.
We go up there every year, but yeah, this is the second time during the holidays that we'll be going. So I'll be up there sort of Christmas time for a few days with them and Justina and stuff. We're going to have fun. We always have a great time up there. It's like family and we hang out. Look at the stars and eat lobster. It's a wonderful thing.
That sounds great.
So, yeah. But we'll talk before.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Todd.
Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance have a stage acting podcast? Happy New Year, 2025.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, everybody.
Auld Lang Syne, more like off-stage acting.
Auld Lang Syne, off-stage acting shouldn't be forgot. Have a great New Year. We'll see you again in 2025. Offstage acting.
Right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, you cutie.
Why?
You're singing. You sing.
I thought we'd leave him a little, we'd give him a little taste of our talent.
Give him a little something. Give him a little something
give
to
him a
leave
little
with.
taste. These people out there, they're starved for entertainment. Right, Andy? He bailed on us. He's like, enough is enough. Did I? Oh, wow.
Okay, so that was Todd. I didn't know if that was me.
Yeah, there was some crackling and crunching. I thought it was Jay. Damn. Yeah, there was some crackling. Yeah, I heard it. But